Hold on. Audio was not coming out of my headset. It saves your HP, that's a shame. Where did I have to go now? Completely unnecessary thing, by the way, this platform breaking. I feel like sometimes, not a lot of things, but sometimes there's things in this game that make me feel like they're in the game for the exclusive purpose of making players waste time, which kinda sucks. It doesn't seem like the kind of game that would do that. Like I understand it for like gacha games and stuff that do rely on like, oh, look at how many hours our users were engaging with the game, and like how many days in a row the users open the game, kind of thing. But when you're playing a platformer or a Metroidvania, things that slow down the player kind of suck. Mercury Harpoon, what it's called. I'm missing 2 weapons. Doesn't shoot particularly fast. It probably does a lot of damage, or maybe damage over time. It does pierce, which very clear. If it pierces, it kinda fulfills a similar role to the flamethrower, if you think about it. Kill 2 enemies with 1 harpoon? That's not right. I didn't do that, did I? Oh wow, it does so much damage, I like it. So many things in this game are annoying. Yeah, I won't even say a little bit annoying, no, they're just downright annoying. Like, if these things are crawling on the ceiling, you cannot jump into the ceiling and shoot them with anything, really. They will just dodge your attack, which sucks, completely sucks. But this game's fun with the variety of weapons that you have. There are little things in this game that do make me not like it, but there are also things that make the game fun, you know. So it's not entirely like a terrible experience or anything along those lines. Ha! I dodged that accidentally. And something yeah, that. Man, these things are ridiculous. But I think I kinda get it now. You're supposed to jump over them. Okay, it doesn't pierce indefinitely. It pierces like 2. Oh, this is gonna be miserable. It one-shots a lot of things. I wonder if it one-shots everything. Oh, come on, that was terrible. Okay, it doesn't one-shot these. They're too tanky. The fact these skulls explode in fire and move so quickly, like they're just very ridiculous enemies. But I think this game's full of very ridiculous enemies where, like, if one of them appears on the screen, it kind of feels like you cannot do much about it. You see that? Even if I do a super cool trick like that, it will still cause me to die to it. Or like not die, but take damage from it. How do I make it up there? That's so weird. Yeah, it's to the point where it kind of feels like you are perhaps intended to take a hit on it. Delightful. You see how that is really ridiculous? Like, it feels like take one hit here. Oh man. Like, so many small things that this game could have done better. Maybe some enemies are resistant to certain kinds of attacks. That feels like that, certainly. I'm kind of curious about what there is up here. Did I select like hard difficulty or something when I started the game? If this is what they meant with hard difficulty, I think that's very ungood, you know? Coming back here was worth it. These things are not marked in the map. I wonder how many of those I have missed. You know what, I think it's probably for the best to just run past everything there is to run past. Interesting background. Why does it look like that? I might as well. Still don't have the ability to swim underwater. And these things are still ridiculous and unreasonable. This is very infuriating. Like, it sucks. Whenever you don't have to deal with flying things in this game's kind of okay. But when the time comes and you are interacting with flying things, the game sucks. Yeah, funnily enough, the more I play of this, the more I dislike it. I would like to believe that I am well qualified to be evaluating these kinds of games, given that I've played them for a while, and I've played many franchises and stuff. I'm not like a fanboy for any, really. Except maybe for whatever Gemajue does. Yeah, that guy's pretty good. Gemajue, I don't know how you pronounce it. The guy from Tebi and Ravi, really. That guy's pretty good. Oh, also Team Cherry. They're also really good. Maybe the team behind Nine Souls as well. You know, those are my top 4. Nine Souls, Tebi, Silksong, and Ravi Rivi. Can I make that? Oh, I can. Because I can do this. I forgot that I had that ability. That health pack was accessible to me since quite a while ago. Oh man, like not centering the map where you are makes it so difficult to spot yourself in it. They have to do something about that. I would love it, in fact, if they did something about it. I think we have to go to the helicopter and then warp to the other helicopter. But I want to see what's up there. You know, you see that little section of the map pretty close to where I am, upwards, where I have not seen what's in there. I need to see what's in there. That was like the whole reason I came back here in the first place. The health pack that I just found was just like an incidental bonus. Yeah, the thing is that I cannot make that jump. I suspect that I have to come back from the other way. Okay, I can probably check that right now. Oh no. I should probably not separate from the grenade launcher. Because I feel like the grenade launcher is, or like not the grenade launcher, the flamethrower, that's what I meant. I don't know how I got from flamethrower to grenade launcher, but whatever. Anyway, that's what I need for the VATS. I feel like the VATS are designed for handling them with the flamethrower, and many annoying things in this game, really. The problem is that the flamethrower runs out of ammo in like 3 seconds. Delightful. You see, time-wasting mechanics in my Metroidvania. Okay, whatever was in here I've already grabbed. I think it was some HP. This game isn't even the worst thing I've played on this channel. it's so much better than many of the games that I've tried this year alone. Okay, we can make that. I think the time that I made it here, I completely forgot that I could do that. There might be like a secret here or something. Nothing? I will trust you this time, game. God, why does this exist? What do we get from this? Extra HP? More armor, whatever that is? I have to really go out of my way to get that one, so I'm suspecting that the game is made in such a way that you're not really meant to go through the game with it. Or rather, it's like a bonus secret to reward you for exploring. So I was talking to my friend that gifted me the game, and when I mentioned like these rats, for example, or the wolves or the dogs, he said that sounds a little tryhard, and I was like, no, it's a very tryhard. This seems like a very tryhard game. Yep, lots of run past things and hope that you don't get hit by them. Which at the start of the game, that's a legit serious problem. Like you might actually just die trying to do that. So the most annoying thing is placed right at the point where you're most vulnerable. I don't really get how that makes sense, but sure. Yeah. The area that is unexplored that I'm right next to, wherever I am in the map, is water, so I cannot do anything about it. Yeah, talking about rooms full of stuff that's perhaps best to run past. You know what? This is the room that I want to explore more of. Immediately greeted by one of those turbo piranhas. That sucks. You cannot reasonably play this game without taking damage. Like, this is actually such an absurd game. I have to look up if anyone has ever done like a no damage run of this game, because this is genuinely so ridiculous. I remember, well, I actually don't remember because I've not been in this part of the map, but there was another section where I was like, I don't think I can reach that from this side. That was like a rappel thing. So how exactly do I reach that? No way I have to damage boost up there to reach it. I'm not doing that. Okay, that shall go unreached for now, yeah. That's a way to put it. I wonder how far am I from the end of the game. I kind of want it to be soon, not gonna lie. Because I feel like this game, it doesn't suck, but I don't think it's good either. It's like very mid. And it had potential, but like a lot of its design ruins it. Like, what is the point of rooms like these? Just like tax you or some HP. Or a lot of HP in this case, I suppose. Okay, hopefully I don't have to go through that room again. You know what's the worst part? There is no way to farm to full HP. Or like not farm, to go to a spot and get back to full HP. So all these scratches that are a result of the game being extremely annoying are like a constant not reminder, but like it's like something that you will eventually have to take care of, you know? So you go back to full HP when it's time to deal with a boss or something. And that sucks. It sucks so bad. Oh, I wanted to go back to the starting screen. I don't want to quit the game for now. I wanted to go back to the starting screen because I wanted to go back to the save, so I didn't have to go through the awful scarab room again, because I left unexplored the section. Wow, this you cannot skip any of this. No matter what button you press, you cannot skip it. For that, I don't, whatever. Okay, here comes the torture. Does any of that seem reasonable to you? Because it certainly doesn't seem reasonable to me. And that room below, I cannot go to the unexplored part because it's water. The game's taunting me with the ability to go underwater and has been doing so for a while now. Which of course leads me to understand that I'm not close to the end of the game. To my dismay. Yeah. Every time that happens, imagine like a meter, where every time I fail a platforming thing, and I fall only to repeat a thing 20 or 30 seconds later, like about 1% of the bar fills pretty much, and when that bar reaches 100%, I will quit the game. We're not there yet, but it might happen at some point. Because this game does that too much. Way too much. Talking about things that this game does way too much, it has me lost on the map when I'm looking at the map so much. It's not good at all. Okay, that's the spot that I was thinking of earlier. The one where there was like something that I couldn't reach because I didn't know the C4 could blow up those things. I don't think that I mashed over the blurb that explains the C4. Okay, now I have to wait for a while. Yep, those are the little things that add up. You know, the time wasters. The completely unnecessary time wasters. Man, this game does it so much. Maybe I'm being harsh with the game, but I just don't think that that kind of design has any place in a game released in the 21st century. That is, you know, a game that you pay for. Like, I understand it from a purely material point, from a free-to-play game that, as I said earlier, cares about people playing the game for long periods of time, that is a game where it makes sense to add time wasters, and by extension it's the kind of game that I don't really like to engage with. But on a game like this, there is no need for time wasters in a game like this. I won't be able to reach that for quite a while, like that unexplored area. In the controls department, this game does do something that I strongly dislike, which is the roll does not have a dedicated button, it's crouch and jump. That roll that I just did is crouch and jump. Where in any other game, there would be a dedicated button for that. Ooh, talking about platforming with annoying obstacles that can make me fall and have to repeat that. That is not an insignificant time waster, the thing that I just did. Disabling what are these things called? The birds. Yeah, because they're not bats, fortunately. With bats, that would be extremely infuriating. But disabling the birds while you're doing that would probably be for the best. Okay, I think I have to go this way. I don't mind the backtracking that I just did. I got quite a bit of resources out of it. I got more ammo and more HP. Anytime. Oh, and also most importantly, the thing that doubles my armor, or at least I don't know if it doubles my armor, but it does give me more ammo. The game said so. And I choose to believe the game. I think it would be funny if it actually didn't do anything. Why am I here? In your opinion, the game looks odd. Well, it's a game that intends to replicate the look of old games. This looks like a game that technically could have come out in the Super Metroid, technically. Or like in the Super Metroid, in the Super Nintendo. With half the resolution, sure. I gotta make a comparison between the main character's sprite and Samus from Super Metroid's sprites. Because I can tell you that this is not what I would think of when... Like, if you were to tell me of the idea of HD sprites, I wouldn't think of this. That doesn't mean they look bad, but they don't look HD. When I think of HD sprites, Silksong, the Blaze Blue beat 'em up that I was playing yesterday, Dental Fiction has really high quality sprites. And Blaze Blue itself also has really high quality sprites. I do want to switch my gear. Yeah, give me back the flamethrower. Because you're thinking of Jazz. Oh yeah, Jazz with that rabbit. Oh man, they get wrecked by the flamethrower. They are bullet sponges, but they get wrecked by the flamethrower. Good. Okay. It's, I think, good practice to save whenever one of those comes across. Oh man, I hate that. I hate it so much. Like, this game really has so many things that make me think, why does this exist? Who thought it was a good idea to put this in this game? Almost all of those things are things that fly or things that run really fast at you or shoot a projectile really fast at you. And the game does that so much, to the point where like you cannot really reasonably dodge it. I can make that. The question is it necessary for me to make that? I can make that from the other side, much more easily. Delightful. You see that? Like, think it flies over your shots and then lands on top of you from diagonal. Like, how exactly? It's really difficult to dodge and it's really difficult to shoot. So you feel like you're just gonna take damage. Sometimes the stars align and the game throws you a bone and places the thing in such a way that you can actually shoot it, and then you shoot it and you don't take damage, and it's neat. But that rarely happens. Can use the flamethrower in water? Probably not. I would go as far as to guess that you cannot do that. I can give it a try, but it probably doesn't work. The thing is that by going here and giving it a try, it will take damage from the crackhead fish. You will see. Like, this is the crackhead fish. Huh. Okay, it doesn't work. It indeed does not work. The Mercury Harpoon also doesn't work. Yeah, like, just like that fish is unreasonable, there is so many things in this game that are just as unreasonable. Like, the flamethrower is the first weapon in the game that makes me able to consistently be able to hit things in the ceiling. Okay, stop that. That's actually ridiculous. Uh-huh. Very obvious secret. Those don't do anything, as far as I'm aware. I think they're only collectibles. Yeah, that's another one of those ridiculous things that I was talking about. That room seems completely pointless to me. Running low on ammo. Such a shame that the flamethrower's ammo goes down so quickly because it's so good. Yeah, don't you love it when you're coming down from a jump and then a thing that shoots a super fast, undodgeable projectile comes up from the ground? Jeez. Okay, I can totally make that. Oh, don't you love it when you're running and that thing that comes out of the ground and does contact damage to you? And it appears right in front of you? Like, it's so ridiculous. This game does so much of that. And that's the thing that makes me think it's kind of a bad game. If that kind of thing was not in the game, it would be substantially better. Oh, I thought I was not gonna make it. Oh! Ah! You wouldn't play it, but you wonder if people played for this? You know, funnily enough, this game came out like almost 10 years ago, and I remember people actually praising it and saying, oh, this game's pretty good when it released. But, like, I do not understand how, like, what exactly was going on in the minds of people when they decided that this was a good game. Like, I don't understand under which metric this would be considered a good game. A playable game, it's not as bad as other things I've played before, mainly because the annoying things are not omnipresent. Like, they're just present enough for them to be extremely annoying, right? But they're not every room of the game is terrible, right? Like, they're not like that, fortunately. This has me feeling like a Pavlovian dog with the learned helplessness, you know? Like, I see certain things, and I'm like, what even is the point of trying to avoid taking damage from that? Like, I know I won't be able to. I am supposed to go forward, I think. I may not have explored as much as I have to. Because I feel like by this point I should have an ability that makes me able to swim with the amount of water. You seem to survive them with health alone. The thing is that the only way to get back to full HP like that the game offers you reasonably is to get an HP up, and you can probably guess those are very limited. Other than that, I have to farm to get back to full HP. You can't shoot that underwater. Can't shoot anything underwater. Oh no. When am I going to get a weapon that I can shoot underwater? How do I get there? Okay, I cannot get there. I have decided that I cannot get there. Okay, this guy is a bullet sponge. It's kind of okay because that's the free weapon. You can never run out of bullets for this one. But that was very annoying. Oh, don't you love jumping into a projectile that was shot by an enemy that wasn't able to reach you with the projectile, but by jumping you run right into the projectile? Because that game certainly likes it. This game certainly loves that. This is miserable. Why are those insects moving at Mach 10? Everything moves at Mach 10 in this game. Okay, I didn't need to do that. And these insects are slow in comparison to some of the other things in this game. At least they move in a rather predictable and easy to mitigate pattern. Yeah, you see that projectile? That's much more unreasonable than the insects. No, I'm not in the right room. Those insects are so much more unreasonable. Okay, I can farm to full HP in rooms like these, but it's so bad. Like, why, if you are going to give me a way to farm to full HP, you might as well just save me time and give me, you know, full HP, full bullets in a room like this. I can't get it. The difference between one thing and the other is that one doesn't waste minutes of my time. Also, for some reason the game is in Spanish and I cannot change the language. Not that I mind, of course, given that I know how to speak Spanish, but for the sake of the viewers that don't know how to speak Spanish. By the way, if you ever want to learn to speak Spanish, I could like practice talking Spanish to you. You could give me money and I could eat, and I could also help you learn Spanish. This is a game from 2017. And when they released it, they wanted it to look like an old game. And somehow also play like an old game. Yeah, that room right there is the one that I want to go to. That's the part of the map that I have not explored and that I think I need to go explore next. Let's see what we get here. Oh, vertical section with flying birds. That sucks. These things are also another ridiculous enemy, those schools. To the point where I feel like it makes more sense just letting them hit you than trying to dodge them. Or leave the room ASAP if you can. Oh. This is gonna be a bad section. Jump hero. I don't know about that. Like, I kind of like platformers, but this does not feel like a fun platformer to me. Because your jumps are very limited. At least they're not as committal as the jumps in a different game. Like, the original Castlevania comes to mind. At least there is a lot more versatility with what you can do with your jump in this game, right? But still, you only have one jump. In the games that I enjoy more are that you have multiple jumps and there are dashes and stuff. This also I mentioned to my friend who gave me this game. This game may not be great, but it could be a lot worse. At least this game is making me feel something. I've played games where I just feel absolutely nothing over the game. And that's the worst. Okay, that's pretty okay. A little bit more ammo. And a full ammo refill, might as well take it. I think I want to switch away from the Mercury harpoon. I don't know if I love it. I think I'm gonna try the shotgun. Shotgun and flamethrower? Yeah, that seems fine. Your favorite game of all time is still FTL? I played a little bit of FTL, not that much, but I did get a couple of wins and stuff. I like how you can pause and plan your turn pretty much every time. I use that function a lot. I think not playing like that is pretty crazy. I don't want to know what happens if I land on those spikes. I think I might. It tanked the full shotgun blast. Yeah, I really don't want to know what happens if I land on the spikes. Okay, I don't know how to reach that. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Okay, it doesn't kill you, it doesn't kill you. I was sure that I had missed okay. I was sure I had missed a room here. there a platform or something? Or am I supposed to go down here? Clock tower. I wish I could look down, but I feel like I don't want to fall down. Okay. It was quite the gamble to drop down because I didn't know if I was gonna get dropped down into something unreasonable. Fortunately, I dropped into a map. Really good. We need some of those for the Metroidvania. Oh, they don't explode if you have iframes. You should totally be able to face tank them with iframes. Oh man, that was horrible. There is diagonal shot, but I have to press the trigger to not move, and then I can you know, aim. But then I have to press the trigger and not move, which is so annoying. It's very Metroid-y in nature. No. Into the Breach was great too. I played a little bit of Into the Breach as well. I don't know what's up with their games, that I like them, but they don't hook me with Wizard style where I can play 400 hours of them before I move on to the next thing. You remember earlier when I said that like missing a platforming thing and then dropping down was like a 1% on a bar? That drop felt like a 10%. Not that this platforming is bad or anything. The problem is that I have to go through rooms with schools again and again and again, and the schools are unreasonable enemies that you cannot really do anything against. Either, like, whenever it comes to these schools, you're just gonna take damage. Doesn't matter what you do. And the game doesn't replenish your health fast enough to make that manageable. No! No! Yeah, I need the HP refill. Because the game also has a funny feature where if you die, you respawn, or rather another guy gets sent with no HP and no gear, and you have to kill your old guy with your new guy. It's pretty annoying. I wish I didn't have to sit through these couple of seconds every time I get out, but we can take this opportunity to highlight how this thing says 2017 Universal Studios. So I am not inventing that it is a 2017 game. It says so right there. I have no idea how they got the IP for this game. I have no idea who thought a game like this with an IP like that in 2017 was a good idea. I feel like this game could have been so much better with better execution, with better design in general. You wouldn't be mad if I just rage quit at this point? Nah, we're fine. You're fine. Besides, it's a clock tower. Like it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be like this. It's just a clock tower with a bunch of really questionable decisions put into it. Yeah. I think I just have to do it perfectly and not take a lot of damage from things, so I can face tank the schools and not try to like kill the schools or anything. That is what I mean when I say a time-wasting mechanic. Oh, delightful! Don't you love it when a school knocks you into resetting the screen to make more schools? This has me feeling like I'm playing the original Castlevania, with the way these enemies are ridiculous compared to the things that I can do. And the thing is that the things that I can do aren't even like underpowered or anything. Look at this flamethrower, it's super sick, right? But it's just not enough. It is not enough. The only way you can hope to not take damage from the schools is if you have iframes. Come on, hit the thing! It's not that hard. I wish there was a wall jump, you know? So many of these platforming things would be so much more palatable with a wall jump. After this I might just play Super Metroid again, because I feel like this game is just... It's so much like Metroid, but it does so many things that are bad in comparison to Super Metroid. Oh, you can look up and down by holding the don't move button, that's neat. I didn't know about that. No! That guy, like, who thought that was a good idea? This is really taken straight out of Castlevania 1. If you have never played Castlevania 1, I don't want to say don't, because it's a very quick experience. Either way, like whether you win or die, Castlevania 1 is a very quick experience. So just based off of that alone, I think it's worth playing. No! Why? That has happened like 6 times already. Ah. Okay, the game says map 72%, so we might be getting close to the end. I would like to believe that we're getting... Oh, this is not where the map is. Okay, delightful. I wish doing this didn't take so much, but then again, everything in this game has me feeling that exact way. Even like from the moment you open the game and you cannot skip to the point where you can't start the game, You have to sit there for like 20 seconds. Universal, whatever, the developer. That really has me feeling like this game is just one huge waste of time. That sure hit me. Wait, I'm not doing it right. Oh no. Yeah, the thing is that if you run, you get a longer jump. You have to run not optimally, because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten it so many times in a row already. But you have to run quite a bit to make it. Okay, this is where the map is. You could technically also replenish your HP to full in this room. Which, as I have already said, why put this but not put a thing that gives me back full gear or full ammo and full HP, right? And I mention it, I know I'm repeating it over and over and over again, but the thing is that the game forces you to do this over and over and over again. If it was not as big of a deal as it is, I wouldn't be mentioning it as much. Pretty much. It's a shame. Because I don't think this game's terrible. Like, I feel like it has potential, but it has some things that are super questionable. Okay. Maybe that's the game telling me that I should farm to full resources before continuing. I wonder how long this is gonna take. Still better than playing Crawl, by the way. Crawl is in that space where I just don't feel anything about the game. For a while, and especially during the year and a half, after I started streaming, I played Crawl and I was like, man, Crawl is so fun and I am enjoying it, and people like what I do when I play Crawl and stuff, right? And then I was like, okay, I'm not having that much fun with Crawl anymore, but I can still make some good content. And then I started taking Crawl seriously, and whenever I started a run of Crawl, I could feel my health deteriorating in real time. And it was really bad. So at that point, I was like, maybe I should stop playing Crawl. Like, this game makes me feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. This game has me feeling like I'm gonna stop breathing at some point spontaneously. Like, whenever I play this game, I genuinely have a hard time breathing. So maybe it's for the best that I don't play that game. And then my mindset changed, and now I just don't feel anything when I play that game. And I feel like it's impossible to win that game if it makes you feel nothing. Because I've pretty much not won since Crawls made me feel like that. With the exception of that game that I won in the last tournament. Okay, we're almost there when it comes to HP. I'm pretty sure I'm full in every other resource. I wonder why it keeps giving me flamethrower ammo when my flamethrower ammo is maxed at 450. The funny thing is that this room, it has like a bunch of supplies in the background. You would think that there could be a button here that says full HP, full ammo, right? But for some reason there is none. Okay, the schools do 34. With full HP, I have enough to tank a decent chunk of schools. So as long as I don't take damage from anything else, we're fine. Oof. Why exactly am I failing to make that jump? What is going on? Okay, here's the thing that kills me every time. This guy right here. If the developers didn't want me to do this, they wouldn't have put this here. You know, the big problem is that HP is kind of irrelevant here because I've not died from 0 HP. I've died because this guy knocks me to the point where I have to do a screen with like 4 schools again, which is completely unreasonable. I wonder if this was play tested. And even better question, I wonder if this was play tested, the play testers were like, yeah, this is perfectly reasonable, this is fine. This definitely feels like a game that I would have played in the Super Nintendo. Well, I can actually believe the last part, because, you know, from then until now, the advancement of game developing and game design has been quite thorough and quite remarkable. And I'm also noticing that this thing is giving me HP a lot faster than the boxes from before, which I appreciate. But the time is quickly approaching to do the thing, to try to do this platforming challenge without getting killed by that spear guy that throws the spear like it's a boomerang for some reason. Because of course you can throw a spear like it's a boomerang and have it return to you, while I cannot shoot in your direction without dying in the process. And just as I was praising the frequency with which this was dropping HP, it stopped dropping HP. I think that's the game's cue to stop doing that. Okay, that's fine. That's not fine. I swear. This room has 3 schools, and maybe you can dodge the last one. Dropping down cost me about two health bars. HP drops the scale based on missing HP for this game. The lower HP you are, the higher chance for higher and big HP drops. Yeah, kinda like Metroid. I was suspecting that's how it worked. In Metroid, if you have like 1 bar of HP, and the Metroid HP system, in case you have never played Metroid, is effectively the exact same as this game. But if you have very low HP, you will always get like HP from things that can drop stuff. It's very reliable. You learn that intuitively. Like, you can be at 1 HP and you find an enemy generator, and unlike this game where the enemy generators are completely horrid, in Metroid you see one of those and you're like, ah, sweet, back to full HP. I have no idea why this game drops ammo. I feel like it should always drop HP instead of ammo, if you're maxed on ammo. Like, that's clearly not what I'm here for, you know? Whatever. Enough. No! 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 Man, this game's garbage. This game's genuinely so bad. That dropped me like 3 screens. That may have been the first time ever that I killed one of those skulls without taking damage from it in one way or another, whether it is contact damage or retaliatory explosion damage. A little bit more. Yeah, there we go. That is a little bit more. Okay. Okay, there is a safe room right here. We're free. We're free. Okay, I'm about to fight a boss. I feel it in my bones. Let's check the map to confirm my suspicions. Okay, we're not quite there, but we're pretty close. And yeah, that is totally a clock tower. That room that I didn't explore probably has something good for me. But if I have to guess, I bet it's a room with an extra HP. Because it wouldn't be the first time or the second time that I miss one of those rooms. Okay. Oh, this is the boss room. Cool. Okay, good to know that's what it does. Oh! I thought it was going to hit me and there was nothing that I could do about it. But it doesn't work like that. Huh. Very curious. Okay, this is pretty sick. You see, like, this game has some stuff that's horrible, that's like straight up bad, and some stuff that's like super amazing. And this boss is one of the latter. Except maybe for that. I don't know how to reliably dodge the beam. I don't think the C4 dealt damage to the boss. I was kind of wondering if the boss smashing against the wall would make me drop from the ceiling, and it does. But this is definitely the way to do it. This boss has been at what feels like 1 HP for too long. The very funny thing is that most of the bosses I've killed very reliably and very easily, but the platforming is like the areas in between the bosses are where this game really makes you suffer. I'm starting to feel like the shotgun shoots I don't know, marshmallows. I don't think it shoots shotgun pellets. Huh? What's up with that? Okay, that's pretty unusual. First time I grabbed onto it, it did scroll around. Come on. You can tell the HP of the boss by the color it has. Like, the more red it is, the more close it is to death. Straight out of Metroid. Okay, there we go. First try, like every boss except for one thus far. Catching every beam. The thing is that dodging those beams is kind of hard because it's all about ergonomics. Is what I'm going for here. The most comfortable way to attack the boss is the path that leads to the beam, pretty much. In order for the beam to not hit me right away, I need it to be in a diagonal like this. And of course that's not a particularly safe thing to do because it prevents you from moving, right? So I preferred not to be doing that, and in turn I got hit constantly because of it. I feel like this room is gonna be downright miserable, up to the point where I might want to go back to the save and save before this room so I don't have to do the boss again. I'm gonna go do that right now. Assuming, of course, that I can get out of this room. I might not be able to. Yep. Oof. So What happens if these bats kill me? I think that what happens is that I quit the game. Come on, it's not gonna be that bad. Yeah, there we go. Okay, what am I going to get from this? Ah, I get to swim. Okay. Ah, we got this. That means that I'm close to the end. Okay. Yeah, that seems to me like the fluff was pretty much this is the end of the game. We got the mummy cornered. Okay, let's get out of here and go back to the mummy. And the funny thing is that these things that make me suffer so long ago, not so long ago, now are relief, in fact, because the backtracking takes seconds thanks to gravity. I think it is very funny how the enemies explode in this game. Look at... I knew it! I knew it! I called it! I called it earlier. I said that room that I didn't see, it's most likely an HP up, and lo and behold, it was an HP up. It was well hidden. The game does like to hide its HP ups. Yeah, that's the beauty of the clock towers. Backtracking is so fast. As far as Metroidvanias go, I would say that this is very, very, very linear. Which, for me, it's not a problem, but if you like the openness of Metroidvanias, this game you're gonna have issues with. I have issues with it for other reasons, but I wonder if there's anyone that's like, you know what's my favorite Metroidvania ever? The Mummy Demastered. That is my favorite. That is the best one. There might be someone like that that exists. I bet the remaining HP ups are hidden underwater. I'm not making that jump though. But why exactly is that jump necessary? Like, what does that add to the game experience? There we go. Ah, delightful. Okay, I cannot shoot underwater yet. Or maybe I cannot ever shoot underwater. Only with my pea shooter, that's not good. Ah, amazing. I have the gun above water, why can't I shoot that? New weapon. Missile cluster. Cluster rockets. Okay, that feels like it's gonna be better than the shotgun. It feels like it's actually gonna do some damage. No, I don't want to carry the shotgun. It sounds like it does some big boy damage. Okay, that would be good if I could somehow go back to a spot where I get healed to full HP. Unfortunately, no such thing exists in this game. Oh man, final area of the game. The save room doesn't have any breakables to regain HP. The breakables are in the room outside. Kind of annoying. Yeah, taking advantage of the fact that we're close to the end, I think it's time to enact a verdict upon this game. Would I ever replay this? No, definitely not. Should people play this once? That's a trickier question, because as displeasing as the general experience is, I think this game is a good thing to play for as a learning experience, you could say, of what not to do in a game like this. You know, I feel like a lot of the design philosophy of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup translates really well to most genres of games. In a single-player game, you could just have a thing that heals a player for full HP instead of forcing the player to farm their HP for minutes at a time. Like, not even players today, players from a decade ago are accustomed to better things than this, you know? Better game design than forcing the player to grind for HP drops. That sucks. No one wants to be doing this. They want to play your game. And if your game it requires you to not play your game for a substantial amount for something as basic as going back to full HP before the final area, I feel like people don't really vibe with that anymore. So yeah, in the end, like I would say, maybe play it if it's like really discounted, or if for some reason what you saw was like amazing to you and this looks like the best game ever somehow, then in that case, of course, like I bet you have already bought it if you feel like that about this game, right? But I can tell you that I don't, and I would very much prefer to play other things than this game. I'm just finishing it for the sake of finishing it. Unlike Blasphemous was like kinda boring, you know? This game at least makes me a little bit mad. It doesn't make me very mad or anything, it just makes me a little bit annoyed. And yeah, a little bit disappointed and sad because, you know, it could have been better. At the end of the day, it could have been better. This is such a miserable room. On a scale of 0 to 10, I would definitely give it, at least it was short enough for me to beat in 2 streams that didn't even last 8 hours total out of 10. Unless somehow the final boss is super messed up and it kills me like 8 times, which I highly doubt is going to be the case, going off the other bosses that have already been beaten by me in this playthrough. I don't really think this game is interested in doing the super giga difficult boss thing. I don't think I can make that jump. Yeah, okay, I am going to get out of here. No! Okay. Ah, this room is a punishment for going that way, I think. Okay, yeah. I do have to say that the game gets substantially, noticeably better the moment you get the flamethrower. This game without the flamethrower is a very miserable experience. The flamethrower is very strong. I wonder how many of those were in ordinary boxes that I missed because I didn't think to break them. Why put an HP breakable there in that spot that's almost impossible to reach? Huh. Map says I've been here before. What's up with that? Why? I didn't grab that. Ah, I went downwards instead of going upwards. Delightful. Marvelous. Absolutely wonderful. Peak game design. With the end so close, there is no shot that I am rage quitting this. Okay, how do I get back up? Ah, delightful. This missile cluster thing is wonderful, you know? Ah, finally! You know, the problem is here, it's not gonna give me full HP. It's gonna give me full ammo and a save, but not full HP, which is probably what one would like to have right before the final boss. You gotta be joking. You know what the funny thing is? I can just do this. Skip the pain and annoyance of having to do that again. Oh man. You know the best part is? I am so close to being done with this game that it just brings a smile to my face to know that I won't have to deal with this for much longer. Oh, it's so good. And let me reiterate. I don't think this game's trash. I just think it's very bad. If it was trash, I wouldn't have finished it, right? Definitely a point in its favor is that it's rather short, so you don't have to deal with the trash for much for very long. You know, I don't have to deal with it for much longer, at least. But it has so many things that were design issues that were solved so many years ago, like decades before this game was released. Those things had already been solved, and I do not understand who thought this game was like who thought this mechanic of not healing you to full HP is a good idea, you know? I wonder if I would be more lenient with the game if I had any attachment to the intellectual property of the mummy. Maybe I would be like, oh man, it's that thing from the movie, it's so cool. But no, not really. I'm gonna go with this because I want to play the game. Yep. Final boss time. I love when enemies teleport in my position. I bet it's gonna have a phase 2 as well. Yeah, bring in the phase 2. You're not baiting anyone. I wonder if I'm gonna have to fight that and the mummy at the same time. That would be funny. I thought the hands were gonna cover the fire. That's a very tricky thing to do. Oh, you do fight the mummy and Set at the same time. It's gonna take a while. Yeah, I used everything and I didn't drop it below like 50% HP. You can tell the more red looking it is, the lower its HP, and it's not looking very well. I have no idea how to dodge that. I'm probably gonna die here. The flashing is messing me up. Why are the bosses so easy in comparison to everything before the bosses? No, really, like the disparity in how reasonable something is between the boss and the rest of the game is so insane. Because these boss attacks are so slow, they're so reactable to, like they're downright easy to do something about, you know? Yeah! What? Why is this game so weird? Well, I needed that HP, you know? Oh, come on. But doing this without wall jumps and stuff is not particularly fun, you know? The spice in the Super Metroid escape sequences is that you have to use the entirety of your movement options to the fullest extent. In this game, it's just like very basic platforming and pick a path apparently for some reason. Indiana Jones time. Ouch. 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 So instead of a timer, there's these random rocks that can knock you out of jumps and just deal damage to you, and I guess if you die here, you die from the rocks, not from a timer running out. I guess I couldn't copy Metroid too much. Okay, I'm done. So do I win the game at this point or what? I'm gonna go to the helicopter. Helicopter, helicopter. Skip to the chopper. This is so crazy. Man. Yeah, I would give it, you should probably not play this or not buy this unless it's heavily discounted out of 10. And once again, I have to mention that I have not watched the movie or the movies, and maybe tyrannical overlord. Maybe because of that I am not as fond of this game as I could otherwise be. But yeah, I need to maybe message or contact these directors and designers, like, why did you think this was an acceptable thing to put out in the world? Because there's so many things that I would change. Like the traversal is miserable, and the bosses are so easy and so tanky. The disparity between hellish exploration and free bosses is something that puzzles me. Like, I do not understand how this is a normal thing, you know? Or like, not a normal thing, but a thing that this game released with. It's kinda nonsensical. Once again, I have to mention, this was like a 4-hour game. And because of that, it's a lot more palatable, that I don't have to withstand these questionable design decisions for, you know, a 16-hour quest or so. And that is on the medium side for Metroidvania length these days. Okay, I at this point I pressed buttons to see if I could skip it. I don't think I can skip it. I genuinely do not care about who works at Universal. I wonder if any of the names that are appearing here in the Universal site played the game before the game released. You know, this is the kind of game that maybe I would, no, not maybe, definitely I would have been a lot more lenient to if it was a game that came out 20 years ago. Well, not 20, 30 years ago from today, 30 years ago, if it had released in 97, even compare it. No, wait, no, it would be 96, 97. You know what game came out in 97? Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That game came out in 97 and it beats this game. It takes this game out in the backyard and beats it with a bat. Like that game, Castlevania Symphony of the Night from 97, with few examples of a Metroidvania before it, does the thing way better than this game. You go to a safe spot, and the safe spot heals you to full and refills your magic. That game does a lot of things that I do not agree with and that I prefer my games not to have nowadays, like the level up system, but it heals you to full without having to grind. And in that regard, like, yeah, in the regard of a fun game, I think that Symphony of the Night is a lot more fun than this. Yeah, that thing is just my greatest problem with this game. And from that problem, all other problems derive. Because if HP was acquirable without the annoyance that is farming for it, then the unreasonable enemies would be more reasonable. You could tank through them much more comfortably, knowing that you have full HP around the corner. But ideally, you have the ability to heal without grinding, and you don't have to deal with ridiculous enemies the way that this game likes to spam. Anyway, we're done. I suspect that maybe this game is short so that you replay it over and over and over again, like other Metroid games, but no, this game's not good. It's not that kind of game. Also, I don't know. There's no spot for me to change the language. I have no idea why this game doesn't have a spot to change the language. It's the language of my global Steam, and up until recently I had it in English, but I switched it to Spanish because a lot of my things are in English, and I was like, I might as well put Steam in Spanish. Why not? Anyway, we are done with that. That was the thing, and I've already said all I need to say about that game. Tomorrow, what are we going to play tomorrow? You know what I have wanted to play for a while? Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I have it right here in my desktop, the icon. It's ready to go. But I think I would rather just stop here and put it on YouTube, perhaps, this game. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put this on YouTube because I have not put anything on YouTube in a while. So I want to put this on YouTube, and I will maybe also put the Metal Gear Rising playthrough on YouTube. Thank you for watching, and thank you for hanging out, and yeah, see you around.